Imagine you're an everyday citizen in One Punch Man, and suddenly you come across a radioactive kangaroo. It kicks you square in the face, and you're granted some super kangaroo powers. You name yourself Captain Kangaroo, and your new mission is to deal devastating damage to drug-dealing dopes with your super kangaroo kicks. And you have an overwhelming urge to put children in your pockets. But not so fast. If you want to be a hero, you have to follow the rules, and in this crazy One Punch Man universe, there sure are a lot of them. So before you do battle with your arch nemesis King Koala, let's go over some of the biggest rules you have to follow to be a hero in One Punch Man. The National Hero Registry is the single most important element about being a hero in One Punch Man's wacky society. It doesn't matter how many monsters you slay, how many disasters you prevent, how many damsels in distress you save, how many cats you rescue from a tree, the general saying goes, if you're not on the registry, you're just some weirdo in a costume. Obviously, our main hero Saitama is completely oblivious to the National Hero Registry when One Punch Man begins, but everyone else and their grandma knows how important it is for heroes to be on this list. We're pretty sure it's the very first thing that's told to babies after they're born because it's just that important. So if you're some down-on-their-luck schmuck who decides to be a superhero in order to get some popularity, your very first move would be to get on the National Hero Registry, or else you're still a super zero. Without it, you're nothing, and who in the world wants to fight bad guys and save the world without recognition? Out of all the rules, this is one of the most important. So at this stage, you want to be a superhero and you signed up on the National Hero Registry, but before you can take to the streets and fight crime, you must pass the Hero Entrance Exam. Of course there's a test. What better way is there to determine if you're either hero material or just an average Joe in a clown costume than a hero exam? Remember how the entrance exams to My Hero Academia included giant robot fights? The powers in charge of this exam decided to save on budget and just have their potential heroes do a series of workouts instead. All you have to do on the fitness exam is pass things like side-to-side jumps, a 1500-meter run, weightlifting, and more. It also throws in a whack-a-mole section, probably to determine how good you are at carnival games. Then there's the written portion, but that's so easy it's not even worth talking about. It's basically impossible to fail, and no hero would do that, right? Not all heroes are created equal, and to be a hero you have to understand the different classes in this world. Depending on your test results, you're going to be placed in one of 4 classes. First up, there's C-Class, and finding out you're a C-Class hero is like getting socks for Christmas. It's nice, but you were hoping for something a little better. They're the lowest and weakest of the 4 main classes, and realistically, the best thing they can do in a true emergency is to flag down a higher-ranked hero to assist. Next up is B-Class. They're the ones who, if you're being attacked by a monster, your chances of being rescued are good, but you might lose an arm or a leg in the process. After them is A-Class, and this feels like the level any hero should strive for. A-Class heroes are popular, powerful, and just overall strong heroes. But of course, they still fall below the top tier level of superheroes, S-Class. They're the popular kids in school. When the world is in danger, who are you gonna call? Not the Ghostbusters, but an S-Class hero! What makes a hero? Is it the superpowers? The costume? The name? No, what truly makes a hero is how strong their sense of justice is. And no matter how insane and crazy One Punch Man's heroes gets, that's one rule that absolutely cannot be broken. It doesn't matter if you're able to punch holes in the very fabric of space and time, or if your punch feels more like a gentle caress. At the end of the day, the hero with the stronger sense of justice is the stronger hero. And it's incredibly difficult to maintain that sense of justice while still ultimately doing the right thing, because even villains often think they're justified. Thankfully, there's a hero in One Punch Man that both has an incredible sense of proper justice and is perhaps the strongest being in the whole universe. And his name is Mumen Rider. We're lucky he's around. At the end of the day, this rule isn't going to be one that's told to you, but it's the backbone of the entire hero society, so you could say it's pretty important. This is when the rules start to get a little unfair, and it becomes more clear that the heroes on the bottom of this hierarchy aren't treated the same as those on top. C-Class heroes already have it hard enough because, well, look at them! It's clear they're nobody's first round draft pick. But because this class is the easiest to get into, and because it has more than double the members of the next class up with close to 400 heroes, rules need to be put in place to keep things organized. Heroes in C-Class are forced to fulfill weekly quotas of heroic acts and either report their actions themselves or have someone else report it for them. And really, this is a pretty tough rule. When heroes want there to be crime in order to meet a quota instead of, no crime at all, that's clearly a problem. As great as it is to be a superhero in this world, since you get to fly around and lay the smackdown on hideous monsters, there's a big rule that not a lot of heroes really mention or discuss. No matter how wide-ranging their skills and powers are, they still answer to the Hero Association. On some level, that makes sense. Sure, there's been no problem so far, but what if the Hero Association, which is privately funded by donations of billionaires and businesses, experiences a conflict of interest? They could hypothetically threaten a hero with removal from the Hero Registry if they don't follow orders in certain situations. Thankfully, this hasn't been a problem yet, but a rule where you have to listen to the Hero Association no matter what or else it affects your status as a hero sounds like a rule that could be abused. You know the phrase, "it's better to be feared than loved"? Yeah, that doesn't apply here. The Hero Association is privately funded, and a large chunk of their money comes from donations that people make depending on how safe they feel. This, in turn, is given to the heroes for compensation, so it doesn't matter if you're the most powerful hero in the world, because if the people don't like you and don't feel safe around you, you might struggle to make rent for next month. Just be sure to think about that next time you want to end a villain's life by punching him so hard he explodes in a shower of monster guts. It might look cool, but Mrs. Jones might be less inclined to give money to you because her whole outfit smells like warmed up mayonnaise and cat vomit. Small businesses can also make donations in an attempt to get PR, so if Burger King makes a donation to the Hero Association, you better become their official spokesperson. You remember in Super Mario how time and time again Mario would fight through each level only to learn that Peach was in a different castle? That's kind of what it's like to be a hero at the Hero Association. Unless your name is Saitama and you jump up the ranks faster than Mumen Rider going downhill at top speed on his bicycle, it seems like as soon as you climb the flagpole to the top, you wind up immediately at the bottom again, just like Mario. Use us, for example. If we were to become a superhero, we'd obviously be Disembodied Voice Man, whose silky smooth pipes haunt your dreams. And most likely we'd end up in the C-Class near the bottom. If we wanted to move up, we'd have to work our way to the very top spot of C-Class, and then we'd enter B-Class right at the bottom and have to do it all again. But let's be real. Mumen Rider is the #1 hero in C-Class, so that means it's impossible to move up because no one can overpower Mumen Rider. Man, you'd have to have a crazy amount of justice flowing through your body to want to be a hero in One Punch Man, because although a majority of the heroes are low class, they're the ones treated most unfairly. So if you somehow become A-Class or even S-Class, the first rule seems to be put your nose down towards the lower class of heroes. It's a cruel cycle, with normally the S-Class heroes receiving the best treatment and privileges like higher salary and better press. Because of this, the lower class heroes are mostly ignored, which then means they can't earn enough publicity or attention to move up in rank. The public doesn't know or care about them because they'd rather know what Sweet Mask had for breakfast last week or how King got his scars. So in the end, what's the point? A C-Class hero could work incredibly hard and defeat an insanely tough monster. But the rule is not to give them too much credit, or else the whole system would be thrown out of whack. If the C-Class heroes start becoming more recognized and known by the public, that lessens the value of the Hero Association, and we simply can't have that. One thing you can't overlook is the power of factions within the Hero Association. Unless you're super strong, your best bet is to team up with a faction in order to keep ahead of the other heroes and also not die. It makes sense that the lower class heroes would clump together and form factions so they can survive and become stronger, but not all factions are created equal. Some are truly there to help heroes defeat monsters, while others are there specifically to be roadblocks in order to stop people from rising in the ranks. On one hand, you have factions like the C-Class Hero Alliance or the Tank Topper Army, whose members sadly don't wear hats with tanks on them. They form factions to work together as a group in order to face threats they could never handle on their own, which is a pretty noble thing. But on the other hand, you have factions like the Blizzard Group, led by B-Class Rank 1 hero Fubuki, who purposefully tries to stop lone heroes from rising through the ranks, usually through some sort of violent or persuasive technique. So if you want to be a hero, you better not forget about factions. We must have missed this one in the annual Hero Rules meeting, but we're sure this has gotta be a rule. There's just no other way to explain how some heroes get a legendary hero name that people will say in awe for generations, while other heroes choose names that sound like a bunch of 3-year-olds said random words to describe people and it's stuck. Atomic Samurai, Silver Fang, Blue Fire, Lightning Max. What do all these names have in common? They're all names you'd want your mortal enemy to shout on the edge of a volcano while locked in a battle to the death. Now what about these names? Pineapple, Gun Gun, Smell Master, Eyelashes, Green, Smile Man. What do you think? Do you think those names strike fear in enemies' hearts? Oh no! We gotta get out of here! Pineapple is here! See, it just doesn't work. Don't they understand what they're doing with this totally real rule? They're just begging for villains to make fun of these heroes for their subpar names. And our heroes are already self-conscious enough about going into the streets in funky costumes to fight crime. So how about we fire Ned the Name Picker and get someone more consistent and considerate? Every hero has to have a super move. It's like a staple of this show and every superhero show ever made. That one big battle-ending move that completely decimates the other side. Puri Puri Prisoner has Angel Rush. Silver Fang has Water Stream Rock Smashing Fist. Saitama has Serious Punch, which is super serious, guys. And Mumen Rider has Justice Crash, which no creature has ever survived. Like Deep Sea King, who was hit by Justice Crash and then died shortly after, most likely from wounds sustained from the epic move. So yes, it's definitely a rule to have a super move ready to bust out on bad guys, but here's the thing. You almost can never use it right away. As a hero, you want to win battles as slowly as possible by using the least amount of effort you can. That's why it's very important to save your super move until after your enemy thinks you're beaten. That way you can laugh it off with a smile and then deliver your killer blow. Works every time. Don't even think about starting off the match by using your super powerful move because that'd just make things too easy. The best thing about the world in One Punch Man is that it's not hard to remember city names. Forget about Aquabog, New York, or Pflugerville, Texas, because One Punch has made things a lot easier. All the major cities are named something easy like A City, B City, C City, all the way to Z City, but although their names are easy to remember, it doesn't mean they're close to one another. Each city is a large chunk of land seemingly filled with large populations, but somehow it's very easy to travel from city to city in just a matter of hours. There's only a few plausible explanations. Is it that the cities are super close to each other? Have the heroes found a way to master teleportation? Does this even matter, or will this just anger commenters who will claim we're nitpicking too much about things that don't matter? It's definitely not that last one. All we know is that somehow the heroes are traveling fast between each major metropolis, which means there must be a strange rule about not sharing the secrets of fast travel with the public. So if you become a hero, be sure to ask about that ASAP. With great power comes great responsibility. We thought we knew what that meant, but actually we think that should be changed. With great power comes a gaggle of people always looking for a fight. There, that's the new saying. That's certainly true in One Punch Man, which shows just how hard it is for heroes to go anywhere without being attacked by monsters or people desperate to prove themselves. This is especially true in the second season. Look at the G4 robot showing up wanting to fight King because it knew King was strong. Think of Sonic, who's always trying to fight Saitama because of the brutal, unspeakable pain that was dealt to him. Think of Kombu Infinity, who came to Z City looking for strong heroes to fight. Even look at Garu, the big bad of Season 2, who goes around hunting heroes to see how strong he is compared to them. The moral of the story is that everyone lower than you in the hierarchy wants to fight you to prove they're better. It's a result from the cruel yet orderly system the Hero Association has in place, where heroes feel they have to fight each other in order to move up in the ranks. Just always be ready. Now this one might be the most important rule of them all. If there's one thing that heroes have learned in One Punch Man, it's that it's almost impossible to get Saitama to do anything. He's too strong to be intimidated, too oblivious to be manipulated, and too simple to outsmart. No matter what, the rule of thumb is this. If Saitama doesn't want to do something, he's not going to do it, and he'll quickly derail any plans you might have. This is quickly becoming the most important rule, and we're sure aspiring heroes are handed pamphlets after passing the hero exam that describes the dangers of being around Saitama for too long. Side effects include hair pulling, teeth gnashing, and just generally questioning everything you thought you knew in life. So if you want to be a successful hero who follows the rules, it's best you stay away from the caped baldy. Well, that's our list of strange rules all heroes have to follow in One Punch Man. What are some rules you've noticed these heroes have to abide by? Do you have a favorite rule? Be sure to let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more awesome anime content. As always, thanks for watching.